What's going on, guys? I'm flying out the A-26C-45 Invader, otherwise known as the most over-tiered plane in the game right now. It's got a realistic battle rating of 6.0. Now, if you ask me, it should be cut in half, because you end up flying against some ridiculous planes. But we'll get into all that later. Now, if you notice, the match is primarily made up of bombers for the Americans. There are only 2 Bearcats, and as you can see, I got 8 500-pound bombs. That's really the best loadout you can go out with for right now, at least for my situation. I haven't gotten all the bomb pylons researched yet. Anyways, as far as the Bearcats go, there are only 2 on this team. We've only got 2 fighters to protect all of the bombers. Meanwhile, the other team is mostly comprised of fighters. And this is definitely a situation that's concerned this other Bearcat pilot. Retry. As you can see, he's in the comments bitching about it. And now, just the other day, I had a match that was similar, and we actually won because we had a competent pilot. I don't remember which airplanes we were in at the time, but there was only 1 fighter on that team, and we won because of him. And I'm trying to reassure Retry that I have faith in him, but I'm not so sure he's buying it. And frankly, I can't blame the guy. I mean, when you're in a Bearcat, you're gonna end up facing some pretty stiff competition on the enemy team. You know, he's the only Bearcat that's actually taken off. The other one is just finally put the spurs to the engine. I don't know what took him so long. Anyway, as far as the Invader goes, the battle rating of 6.0 is far too high, in my opinion. You end up fighting everything from D-13s to TA-152s. I believe that's what they are. And you even fight Me-163s, which are jets. And I don't care how good of a pilot you are in this bomber, you are not going to outrun a jet. The plane just isn't built to outrun that kind of aircraft. And you only have 2 turrets. That's less than a B-25. Why this has a battle rating of 6.0 is just beyond me. I think it has more to do with Gaijin's ridiculous idea of battle rating having to do with when the aircraft was introduced into the war, as opposed to how good the aircraft actually is. Because if the airplane's performance was had a higher weight to how the battle rating was designated, then I think this plane would be more like a 3 or maybe even a 4 for battle rating. But I honestly don't think I could put it above a 3, because the B-25 has a similar bomb load, and it has more turrets. In my opinion, it's built a little more stronger, a little more heavier duty. This actually flies more like an attacker than a heavy bomber. I'm trying to go for medium tanks, but I've only got 8 bombs. But I do have some machine guns on the front, and that helps. Unfortunately, all that AAA, I just took a shot to my right engine. It's already pink. I got a whole lot of AAA coming in here from all these armored cars. I mean, it's almost like I got airplanes on my ass. Now, these 50 caliber machine guns that I have in the front guns do work well. However, they're not, unlike the B-25, they're not in the center of the plane. They're actually in the wings. So you end up having to deal with a convergence. Don't mind that sound. My dog's running through the house. Now, as I mentioned, you only got two turrets. You only got two gunners to keep you alive. You're really at the mercy of what the opponent's fighters are doing. If they leave you alone, you can actually rack up a lot of kills. However, if they do focus on you, you have no way of staying alive. You don't have turrets. You don't have enough turrets, and you just don't have enough speed. Like I said, you're not going to outrun an ME-163. The airplane just isn't built for that kind of speed. The engines can't put that kind of power out, and the wings and fuselage just aren't built for that kind of speed. At least in the flight model that's in the game right now. Maybe it'll change. That's one of the interesting things about War Thunders. The fuselage or the flight models are constantly changing. It's hard to say how accurate any of these truly are, because it's not like any of us are World War II pilots. I'm down to 2 bombs, but I still have a lot of machine guns, and that's what I like to use on the armored cars in AAA. But if you can, do go for those tanks with those bombs. You get a nice little reward. Even though this isn't a premium plane, it all adds up. You see, I'm still taking fire. There's a bot. Thankfully, he didn't focus on me, because a Yak 9T would have shot off my wing in one shot. Look at all those LAs and Yaks in the air. Yak 15, it's a jet, an early jet. And you remember, we've only got two fighters on our team. The fact that these two guys are doing as well as they are is amazing. And whatever they're doing, they're keeping the fighters off me. I'm able to get some kills here. Not a lot. I only got 15, but it's not too shabby. The most ground kills I've ever gotten in this aircraft is 43. Now I'm out of bombs. You got enemy fighters in the area, so I'm gonna RTB, reload, and come back. Plus I got that right engine that's pink now. If I don't go back and rearm, repair, I'm gonna be crashing anytime soon. I'm really tempted to go after the IL-2, because they do have the machine guns. I can take him down, but I risk crashing because of my engine. And retry, he's still alive. I have to give that guy credit. He's still alive after having all those doubts earlier on in the game. The other Bearcat, he's dead. So retry is the only fighter we got left. And there he takes down the LA-7B. And now all the enemy fighters are dead. Of course, with exception to the bots. But it shouldn't take too long for our guys to mop those up. Bots are fairly easy to kill. And there, retry. He tells about what he tried to do. He's actually a pretty damn good pilot, by what he sounds, or by how he said it. And she had a couple of guys that crashed into one another. That's not something I could have done in this bomber. Meanwhile, we have a B-17 who's still bombing the hell out of tanks and pillboxes. But I'm still gonna head back to the base. know if you noticed, my engine just went black. So it's going to be just a few seconds before that wing or that engine completely cuts out, and I'm just coasting on that side. Ordinarily that would make landing pretty difficult. And you see I'm trying to take a big wide turn so that I can get a nice straight line up with that runway. Last thing I want to do is be going too fast that I can't stop. If I can't stop, I'll just crash. And of course the alternative is to try to accelerate before I crash, try to pull up. However, if I've only got one good engine, I'm not going to be able to accelerate very well, and I'll probably just end up crashing anyway. You can see Retry, he's finishing up the bots. Henry, the IL-2, that was the guy I was thinking about going after. Of course, just as I'm landing, the game's over. That IL-2 was the last guy alive by the looks of it. I'm pretty sure I would have been able to stop that plane, but we'll never know. Meanwhile, 15 ground kills, it's not too shabby, but have a look at the vehicle research. This is on a premium account, but I didn't get the daily double. I also don't have a talisman. You might want to consider buying a talisman if you use this aircraft and you want to use it for researching your jets for the Americans. The Panthers and Sabres, that they cost a lot of research points in order to get. And if you can double your research points by grinding them with this plane, I think it's a pretty good deal. I've heard of quite a few people doing that with the talisman. However, just remember, it is going to be a grind. It's only going to take a long time because of how many research points you have to get, but also because of the tiering, the matchmaking that you're going to be up against. You're going to have a lot of very high tier German planes, primarily in my experience, and that includes jets. It's not just the high tier props, and that's one of the reasons I think they should lower the battle rating by a lot. 6.0 is awfully high right now for battle rating. If they were to lower it down to a 3, maybe a 4, I think this plane would be a lot better suited for realistic battles. Right now, it's just like you're being seal clubbed by Doras and ME-163s. Anyway, guys, I thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment in the section below. Take care.